Bum 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 ba 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 la ba 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 ba. Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. We are looking. We are all looking for the Back to the Future guitar. That is right. The guitar that technically wasn't the right year in the original Back to the Future movie. If you haven't seen Back to the Future, technically it is now a movie about the past because it was made in the 80s. The future was 2015. Been about a decade since that's happened. We have lived through it. Some of the stuff they got right, some of the stuff they got wrong. But the guitar has been missing apparently for 40 years. So let's take a look here. Cinema's most influential guitar hasn't been seen in 40 years. I don't know if it's the most influential, but I would probably say top 10. I think that's fair. The guitar from Back to the Future's iconic Johnny B. Good scene has been missing for decades. Now Gibson has launched a worldwide search for it. The guitar rented from Norman Harris, Norman's Rare Guitars. They do a lot of cool stuff over there too. I think that's what their channel is called, is Norman's Rare Guitars. Was used for Marty McFly's influential Johnny B. Good performance, but it hasn't been seen since. So Gibson has launched a worldwide guitar hunt for the Gibson E. I think, is it an E or an ES 345? Used by Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. Cinema's most influential guitar has not been seen in 40 years, says Gibson, and it's desperate to solve the mystery once and for all. In the 1985 film sees Fox character Marty McFly travel back in time 30 years and play Johnny B. Good, which would be released 3 years later. At the Enchantment Under the Sea school dance, stood before a bewildered crowd. The performance, McFly utterly the now iconic line. I guess you guys aren't ready for that, but your kids are gonna love it. That's a little bit of a typo there. I do remember that quote. They weren't. It wasn't that they didn't like it. They liked the beginning of it, and then he did like a Van Halen solo near the end of it, which pinnacle of the 80s, Van Halen solos. And that part they were very confused with. The actual song part they were fine with. So the scene and stunning cherry red Gibson have inspired countless views to take up the instrument, with John Mayer and Coldplay's Chris Martin among them. Martin says the film inspired him to start Coldplay, and he even brought Fox on stage to recreate the scene in 2016. However, when the filmmaker went to track the guitar down for use in a sequel, the guitar originally rented from vintage guitar expert Norman Harris was nowhere to be found. Gibson is now keen to find out what happened to it, because they probably want to make a limited edition that costs 10 grand, let's be honest. The hunt for the legendary axe coincides with the production of a documentary, Lost to the Future, that celebrates the film's 40th anniversary and looks at its cultural significance. More importantly, it will document the search for the guitar that's been missing for 4 decades. As Gibson says, Doc Croder's film will guide viewers in the global hunt for this legendary instrument, from long-forgotten film prop warehouses, fascinating vintage guitar shops, auction houses, and shadowy back alleys. So it will star interviews from the cast members Michael J. Fox, Lee Thompson, Christopher Lloyd, Harry Waters Jr., and Huey Lewis, whose song Power of Love is a quintessential part of the film's charm, alongside creator-screenwriter Bob Gale. Musicians who felt the shockwaves of the scene will also feature. Ironically, the guitar used in the film was from the future. The model used wasn't launched until 1958, and as Harris later explained, the Back to the Future filmmakers ignored his note that it was not period correct. They probably liked the way it looked, 9 out of 10. Propmaster came to us because they knew we had guitars from certain time periods, Harris revealed in the interview with Joe Bonamassa. They originally came in and said, we want something red with a whammy bar. It's 1955, so I said, well, maybe a Stratocaster or certain Gretsch guitars that have Bigsby's. They came in, and the art director chose another guitar, a Gibson ES5. He goes on, then the day that they were going to shoot, whoever was in charge said, wait a sec, I want a red guitar with a vibrato on. So they ran back to us, brought back the E5, and took this ES345. Yes, it is an ES345. Lots of typos in this. To coincide with the film's anniversary, Gibson has revealed it will also create 88 Gibson and 85 Epiphone reissues of the guitar. Yeah, there you go, right there. And its unmistakable cherry red finish, Michael J. Fox will also star in an episode of Gibson TV's The Collection. So if you found it or know where the guitar is, the website is www.losttothefuture.com, or call, which is 1-855-345-1955. So I think this is cool. I think, it's they're bringing up hype for the guitar. They're trying to find it. As I said, it's a 1958. It was originally a stop tail. Someone converted it to a Bigsby at some point, because I believe you can, if I remember correctly, you can see the caps. Let's go ahead. I think I can play the clip, but I just have to mute it. Let's see here. I know he was playing Earth Angel as well. It's kind of hard to see there. Let's see if we get a better angle. We'll just kind of cut through some of this. Yes, so yeah, you could see where the stop tail piece initially was on this, and then the Bigsby was later added. But, let's be honest. Unless you're a guitar buff like the majority of you that I'm assuming are watching this video, and myself, you're not going to know or care that guitar was made in 1958. When did the Gibson, out of curiosity, when did the Gibson ES335 come out? I am curious. How long has it been? Oh, also 1958, apparently. So I thought the 335 was older. I am wrong. So the guitar they were going to use for it was a Gibson E5. I'm curious what that looks like. Do some images here. Yeah, they don't really have a red one. It's kind of a natural finish or a tobacco sunburst, I guess, looks like. Those are kind of your only two options. And I guess there is some that have a Bigsby on them. But interesting guitar. They wanted it red. Red stands out a lot. That's probably why. If you own a red car, statistically, you're more likely to get pulled over. There's a fun fact for you, because I guess the way it looks like it's going faster. And also, when you're going faster away, the taillights make it look like it's going faster as opposed to the headlights. Fun little fact for you. But I think this is pretty cool. I am curious how much these are going to cost. My guess is, because this is going to be a limited run by Gibson, 88 and 85, I believe they said. Yeah, it's kind of weird why 85 Epiphones. I have no idea. You think 88 both. But the Gibsons, I'm assuming, got to be... They're probably going to be really expensive. I'm thinking like $10,000 a pop. The Epiphones, maybe $1,500. They might stretch $2,000. I'll be honest, being that it's like a super limited edition thing. There's only 85 of them. I wonder if that's a typo as well. That might be a typo. I wonder if does this video actually show the guitars that they plan on making? Not really. But who knows? We'll see what happens in the future. When is the 40th anniversary? Let's do Back to the Future. Let's see when that came out. So 1985, so the 40th anniversary would be this year, July 3rd. So they are running out of time. They only have literally 1 month from today they have. So there's a good chance that these guitars are already all made, and then they will probably drop, my guess, on the 40th anniversary, which is July 3rd, because you gotta let the hype, you gotta have the hype, you gotta live the hype and all that, so on and so forth. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I thoroughly enjoyed all three movies. If you haven't seen them, definitely go check them out, especially if you like kind of sci-fi stuff, future stuff. As I said, it is technically a movie set in the past, if you will. So that is something. It's weird saying that, because a good chunk of my life it was always the future, and it hasn't been for the last decade. So we'll see if we can locate the thing. Maybe Joe Bonamassa has it. Who the heck knows? It wouldn't surprise me if somebody just has this. They sold it off after production was over, or Norm sold it off at some point in time. The movies, I think, were fairly a big hit when they came out, but not as big as, 30, 40 years plus, rather. So we'll see if we find it. Hopefully it's in halfway decent condition. I don't know if Norm has a documented serial number. It wouldn't surprise me if he does, because I know Norman's Rare Guitars, they're pretty good at documenting a bunch of old stuff. And I like watching their YouTube channel as well, so I guess check them out if you want to. Until next time, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And until next time, as always, have a good one.